Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the top teams for the Color Cup. Again, I'm a little bit sick, so if my voice sounds a little bit different, I'm sorry for that. I can't really change it. Fever's not as great, but you know what's greater? The Color Cup, which is going to be back here in Pokemon Go. Having a water, grass, electric and fire type Pokemon only available for this one is going to be interesting. And of course, if you want to support the channel here, the easiest way is just to leave a like and subscribe. And so this would be it for the beginning here. We can start right into the meta. Again, of course, no face cam today. I'm just a bit too sick for that kind of stuff. But yeah, today we're going to take a look here real quick at the meta as well for the Color Cup. As you can see, of course, it's just fire, grass, water, and electric type Pokemon, which generally speaking is a combination of types that cannot cancel each other out, which makes for a very interesting type of meta because you're gonna see a lot of ABB style lines. It is just on how those metas going to kind of go, like that's kind of the way it is going to work out for most of them. There's some certain Pokemon, especially as Sacer positions, which are going to be very important for this kind of meta, which we're going to talk about as well here today. But yeah, as you're going to see here, number one is going to be Toxapex, the most important Pokemon to have for this meta or to counter. We have an entire team and like basically designed to counter Toxapex, so definitely stay tuned for that one. And yeah, otherwise you're going to see something like a Quillfish, which is the same as Toxapex, just in spammier, but less bulky. Gastron is going to be very strong, Jumpluff going to be very good. Yeah, basically what you would expect if you hear the types of electric, fire, water, and grass. And so there's nothing really crazy in the meta here, and we can move on to the next one. But also, look at number 20 and number 30. It's going to be Magma. Magma is really high up here, which I love. I just really like Magma for whatever reason. Don't worry, we're going to have a team with it as well. Team number one is going to be like kind of the standard team that you're going to encounter quite often in this meta, most likely. We're going to have Toxapex, Credilli, as well as the Abomasnow. We're going to have a lead that's going to be good against fighting type Pokemon. While there are not really a lot of good fighting type Pokemon in this meta, still could see a little bit of a niche word, something like Blaziken or something. We don't have a team around it, but I think this team is going to be very, very strong, which also gets backed up by the stats that we have on screen. I'm not too sure if Ice is the best move, by the way, on Abomasnow. I feel like the Weather Ball most likely is a little bit better in my opinion, but this team is going to be very good. It's going to be very balanced. And yeah, it's just going to be, again, a very solid ABB line. And you're going to see here a lot of teams with Credilli as a safe swap, because, again, there's barely any fighting type Pokemon, because we just don't really have a great fire fighter or, yeah, water fighter. Poliwrath, I guess you can use. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky to play those Pokemon, especially after the counter nerf. So yeah, this is going to be a very safe team. If you don't want to have a double weakness to fighting, you can also use Jumpluff in the back, which also can help you out with matchups against Gastron, even a little bit better. Team number two, we're going to have a team here with Alolan Marowak, one of the most important Pokemon as well, because of the nice coverage of Bone Club, which allows you to hit Pokemon like the Toxapex for super effective damage. Firespin got buffed recently, of course Bone Club got buffed as well. Shadow Bone gives you nice coverage, and then again Credilli is a great safe-swap. Again, you're going to have the nice combination of Pokemon that you can want to beat as a Credilli, which are like water types. Flying types not really that important here, but I guess they not get hit by Bone Club. But of course, ground-type Pokemon, so that's a great synergy, and then you can decide if you want to go for another grass-type Pokemon or Gastron in the back. Gastron here, of course, is going to benefit quite a bit from the fact that you're going to be able to beat grass-type Pokemon with your lead, spacey, safe swap into Credilli, have an ABC-style line here, and yeah, bait out the other grass-type Pokemon with Credilli, because Credilli usually loses against other grass-type Pokemon. A lot of times, not all the time, to be fair. So that's kind of how it functions for team number two, but we can move on to team number three, which is going to be the lead of Gastrodon, the safe-swap of Chatterbug, and the Zapdos in the back, or the Emolga in the back, and that's kind of also more like an ABB line, but it can be also ABC line if you want to go for the Emolgas. The cool thing about this team here is it is going to completely destroy Toxapex, and I guess that Toxapex is going to be the most common Pokemon, making this team very interesting. You apparently have issues with Gastrodon, but I don't really think it's that bad, to be fair. But yeah, again, this team looks like a good one to run right now. Could be a bit tricky against Credilli, I am aware of that, but I still think you have some play with both the Zapdos as well as the Charjabug with it, so hopefully it's going to be fine. But otherwise, yeah, double electric is going to be interesting. Electric type Pokemon, not as great in this meta because there are quite a lot of ground type Pokemon as well, still with something like Gastrodon, but yeah, still very solid here to counter water type Pokemon in this meta. Next one, Magma is here. Magma is going to be cool. Magma is most likely not the best Pokemon for this team, but still is a funny one. The cool thing about Magma, though, is you have Scorching Sands, and this is going to give you a big benefit in the current meta because the most common Water-type Pokemon going to be part Poison. So what you have is some super effective coverage move, which is going to be great. It's definitely something you kind of need for this team as well. I would assume that, by the way, Talonflame is not the better Pokemon in the back. I would assume that Diallo Marek is a little bit better in the back, giving you better coverage against Toxapex. But yeah, this team definitely going to be very solid with that one. But again, it's a bit tricky with Qwilfish Toxapex. There could be most likely some better alternatives for the lead as well. You can use something, for example, like Credilli in the lead here as well, giving you more options for those Pokemon. But we can move on to team number 5. Toxapex, the Decidueye, and the Amoonguss. And the Decidueye is in a very, very interesting spot because the most common Fire-type Pokemon, which usually answer like the Grass-type Pokemon, is going to be part Ghost-type, which is going to allow you to do some super effective damage against the Alolan Marek, giving you definitely an option there to either get shield advantage or even realign yourself, which is going to be very interesting. So the Decidueye kind of functions here as a trap. Same goes for Amoonguss. If you want to have a little bit more consistent damage, you're going to have maybe Levania in the back with the Community Day move Shadow Claw. Going to also hit, of course, Marek for super effective damage, but also gets hit by double super effective, what's called Fire Spin, so that's not going to be ideal. But yeah, this is going to be a very solid team here, I think, again, as well. Toxapex, of course, very, very strong, but I feel like the Decidueye has a lot of play in this meta, especially thanks to Astonish. Then not really a lot of normal-type Pokemon, which makes it a very strong pick here for this meta. Next one, team number 6 is going to be interesting as well. We're going to have Lirani, Credilli, and Golem. I kind of want to build a team around the Alolan Golem because as a rock and electric type, you're very unique in what you can do because you're going to be able to beat fire-type Pokemon as well as water-type Pokemon with it, unless their name is, of course, the Gastrodon. So we kind of want to have some answers for it. I do think Liviana is going to be a little bit better for this team in the lead because otherwise, again, you're going to have a bit more issues against Gastrodon with the Toxapex here in the lead. But yeah, this is going to be a very solid line. I think Alolan Golem is a little bit underrated, currently a little bit under the radar, and definitely do like this team quite a bit. Next one is going to be Starmie. Starmie is actually kind of underrated as well. I could even see a world where the Ice Beam variant of Starmie has some play because there are quite a lot of Grass-type Pokemon, like on this team as well. Credilli against our Saisop here, it is just very, very solid in the current meta as a Saisop. There is not really a better Saisop currently around. Jumpluff in the back, you could have alternatives for this Pokemon as well, but in general, it definitely does make sense to have Jumpluff there. But again, it's a very, very similar team to what we had before, which is something that I cannot really change because the meta is quite condensed. While a lot of Pokemon have kind of play in this meta, they all can do the similar stuff, which kind of leads to a bit of issues while team building, which is fine, but we can now move on to team number 8. Which is going to be around Stunfisk and Mantine. A little bit more of a spicier one here that I tried to build, as neither Stunfisk or Mantine really did get any time here currently, especially Mantine after the Wing Attack nerf. People kind of underestimate it, but look at what this Pokemon can do in this meta. It's actually really, really good, allowing you to beat especially the Gaston completely. It's going to be so valuable, and so Qwilfish could be also, there could be alternatives for Qwilfish that might be a little bit better. Again, you can use Credilli basically on every team if you want to, but I feel like this team has a lot of potential, especially thanks to Mantine being able to counter Gastrodon, as well as something like a Marek quite easily, making this a very solid team to run. Team number 9 is going to be around Dewgong. I feel like Dewgong is the kind of underrated Saisop for this meta, allowing you to bait out most likely Grass-type Pokemon while still punishing them with the Fast move as well as the Charge move. Having Drill Run as coverage is going to be great in the meta because if you're going to take a look at the Pokemon that can beat it currently, Toxapex gets hit super effective by Drill Run, Marowak gets hit super effective by Drill Run, Zapdos, you're going to be able to win in the 2-shield scenario most likely thanks to Ice Shout and Icy Wind. Tornado gets hit super effective by Drill Run, Morpeko gets hit super effective by Drill Run. So basically all the Pokemon that can you lose to, you actually don't really lose to, especially with energy up on the Dewgong. And so again, best Pokemon for this one in the back is going to be the Gastrodon, allowing you to basically bait out the potential Grass-type Pokemon with the Dewgong and then kind of try to win late game with Gastrodon. I feel like this team definitely makes a lot of sense. Again, here you can use Arcanine in the lead as well. Arcanine is a very good Pokemon, but yeah, the best one is going to be just the Alolan Marek. And that's going to be now the final one for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like again. Here we're going to have a team around Morpeko, Talonflame as well as Serperior. Talonflame is going to be very, very solid. Morpeko, actually a Pokemon that completely overlooked first when I tried to look into the cup. It's actually ranked 17, which I just didn't see for whatever reason. And so it's a very solid Pokemon. Here, if this doesn't work out for you, you can also swap the lead line, basically go for Superior Elite, go for the Morpeko Say Swap, and go for Talonflame in the back. And if you want to be a little bit spicy, go for Seed Bomb or Morpeko. I feel like this would be definitely an interesting choice as well. But that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.